What's going on, believers? Happy Sunday. Been a couple of weeks since my last upload, but just to give you an update, just been adding some things to my repertoire, some new methods that I plan on implementing into what I've already begun creating as far as the system. And so, still want to spend the rest of this month just kind of practicing and applying the different concepts, seeing what makes sense, what can I officially solidify as an addition to what I'm working on already, or what's not very useful to me. But so yeah, that's that. Hope you had enough time to read over the risk disclaimer. I'm gonna look into the economic calendar for the week. So Monday is pretty quiet for USD. Then Tuesday through Friday, we got the housing market related news, FOMC member speaking, there's oil related news, there is repeating, right, housing market repeating housing market news and inflation related news, and then more oil news as well. There's Jackson Hole Symposium, which I'm not 100% sure what it is, not even gonna cap. Unemployment claims, right, always on Thursday. Fed balance sheet end of day Thursday, and then on Friday, the big boy there is gonna be Fed Chair Powell speaking. So should be a pretty decent week as far as volatility is concerned. Now I'm just looking at the charts really quick. So on dollar chart, weekly here, anticipating a run above last week's high. So utilizing the daily chart here though, don't really have much that I can utilize here. I'm gonna drop to the daily. So in the daily chart, seeing that prices started to print smaller bodied candles in here, right? Or at least these 2 days. And so Friday's high, Thursday's low. That's the range that I'm anticipating dollar working within here. It did run out or trade above this high here, but as you can see, the bodies of the candles, nothing was able to close above, so it could be some retracement incoming for dollar. So definitely want to try to force anything here. We'll be waiting Monday out. Want to allow for this Monday daily candle to close, and I'll be able to use that information for Tuesday into Thursday for the week. But those are the levels that have my attention right now for dollar. Of course, before it gets down to Thursday's low, has to get to Friday's low. So we'll also be closely watching any type of price action that happens around here if it drops down here, which may set up for me understanding if it would still be likely for it to reach down to Thursday's low. All right, but so that's dollar chart. No hardcore bias. Need to see it trade outside of the range that it's in on the daily. Weekly for NASDAQ here, so opposite the dollar, looking for that weekly low to be taken out from last week. Nothing here on the weekly that's useful. Up to the daily. So daily chart, see that inside of Friday's range here, right? So I need to see it get to the high or low of Friday. And then more importantly, if it gets above that high, right, there's this old weekly swing low, which is what this dash line is here. It's an old weekly swing low, also old daily swing low, right? So it just so happens to be right around that midpoint of the inefficiency here. So if it's to work its way into this pink shaded area and find some resistance, then my target would be the low from last week, right? Easy. And it's the more favored setup for me for the week. So basically run into here and then find its way back out and running that low. Going back to the weekly, gonna look at SPX really quick. So same thing, looking for last week's low to be ran. Nothing useful here on the weekly, so go to the daily. Alright, see that, notice that same situation here inside of Friday's range, inefficiency above. So the favorite setup would be running into the pink shaded area, finding resistance, then running it low. Nice easy setup in my opinion for the week. especially if dollar is to retrace a little bit lower first and then run higher. But I'll go to the dollar chart and kind of, I guess, give a visual of that. But so Dow Jones, US 30 weekly chart, looking for that weekly low from last week to be taken out. Nothing on the weekly is useful, but on the daily, same exact thing, right? Inside Friday's range, above Friday's high, inefficiency, right? Favorite move, run up here, take out that low. And then looking at the dollar chart once more, right? So this would actually be the perfect setup for if the dollar is to run Friday and or Thursday's low, and then reject back into the range, even without running out the high from Friday, right? That type of a move down and then back up would allow for the type of setup here where these are up first and then down. And so that's pretty much all I'm looking for the week. Don't really have any play for Forex except for actually Euro USD. Let me just go through that real quick. So for Euro USD here, I could definitely see it, especially again if the dollar is going to drop down lower and then run higher. So we'd definitely like to see this potentially run back up to this previous week's low or somewhere thereabouts, right? Just from where it's at now up into that high, potentially up to this old low here, right? And then find some rejection and then dig into this blue shaded range here, potentially running the sell stops below these lows here. So that's pretty much it as far as any potential moves I'm seeing for the week. Can't really frame anything in the other ones, except for I believe UJ actually on the weekly as well. Potential play here would be dropping down into this inefficiency here on a weekly time frame here, right? And then finding some support in there. So similar fashion with the dollar, right? The dollar drops down below Friday's low or Thursday's low, and then works its way back up into the range. That could be seen with UJ dropping into this inefficiency here, and then potentially running back up, even if it's just up to some of these old daily highs, right? This would obviously be the highest high it's printed in a while. But even to drop down into here and then running out Friday's high, utilizing that range, right, from down here up to there would still be a very favorable, low risk, high probability opportunity. And so that's it. Don't really have any other plays for the week. Yes, last week was, but this month, to be honest, has been rather volatile, nice expansions that I wasn't exactly expecting. And so not going to rule out more volatility and more expansion this week, but definitely going to try to stay objective about it and not force anything, and really just stick to the plays that I've outlined here for you all. Any of my believers that's tuned in. But that being said though, shout out to the believers, shout out to the dreamers, shout out to the homies that inspire me to be better each and every day. Love you, I appreciate you more than you ever know. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all have a great fucking week. Peace.